AMX-10RC. Interesting. As if the EBRs weren't toxic enough. Ricochet kills. And of course artillery. Because why not? You cannot have a World of Tanks clone without artillery because it's artillery. God. Alright folks, I have suffered immensely trying to get this game to play with the emulator on PC and suffering through the actual controls of the tutorial. It was a nightmare. It's not fully supported like with Blitz, so the controls are pretty rough, but I unlock the actual vehicle now, or the actual gameplay. You cannot check out any of the tech tree or the buttons before you finish the tutorial, which is a nightmare. But let's take a look at this World of Tanks clone and the funky new vehicles they have. Their alpha damage, they're rather of a use of the tech tree or class system, are practically the same as World of Tanks. Practically, other than the tier stuff. So for example, alpha damage on the M48 patent, it's pretty close, right? Pretty close. Just very close to the 400 alpha, 250-ish millimeters of pen, DPM and stuff. So slightly difference of balancing, but very close. The icons for the vehicle class, like tank destroyers, like medium tanks, very close, but let's take a look. So American tech tree, we'll go through the other tech tree soon enough, but the vehicles are practically the same, mostly. The Sherman Jumbo, not the EZ8, so flipped around, but ooh, T23 E3 GMC. It's like the T25 AT in a sense, but can I take a look at the vehicle model? Interesting. It's a 90mm, 90, and a 105. So practically the same as the T25 AT, right? But yeah, interesting vehicle haul. It is practically a medium tank. Also have an armor viewer. Oh, they actually have armor. Only sloped. It's only effectively 88mm on the upper plate. Oh, lower plate. It's about 60. Actually, it's slope 88, but equivalent armor is 160. Alright. A little bit more respectable, but whatever. But yeah, I can see this thing as a premium tier 7 with the 105. Alright. Not bad, I guess. So we'll take a look at all the new vehicles or weird vehicles of this tech tree for the Americans, but we won't go through all the remaining already existing vehicles like the T28 or Doom Turtle because it's already there. So only the difference is the stats, not that much else, but Chavi has side skirts, actual Sheridan with the hull rather than the weird prototype thing. So actual Sheridan. Does it have the 𝗕𝗟𝗄𝗅? Does it have the 152? It has the 152, but only firing high explosives and high explosive in the tank. There's also gold shell because because there is gold shell. All right. Yeah, we're not getting the 𝗕𝗟𝗄𝗅. We're not getting missiles anytime soon. Not even close. They have a T58 heavy tank, not the T57. This thing has the 155 autoloader. It is the 120 currently. Should be. Yeah, this thing was modeled in World of Tanks, but it's way too good. Right? Originally it had like 3 rounds of the 155, but that is still pretty broken. Historically, it's supposed to be like a revolver-esque of a loading system with like 6 rounds of the 155. So that is obviously way too broken, but 155, 2 rounds in the clip. Had 6 rounds in real life. And the 120 had like 10 rounds in a stripper clip or like a clip. But yeah, 10 rounds of a 120 is still pretty goddamn devastating. But yeah, this thing is not exactly a new vehicle, but it's never going to make it to World of Tanks. T58. Alright, anything else that's interesting? E5 is there, E3, not E4s, and T110 artillery. Ooh. It's a high explosive round with 60mm with pen. Loading time is what? Like 40 seconds. Aim time is 6 seconds as expected. Only weighs 2 point... No, that's wrong. That is so wrong. It's not 3 tons of weight. The gun weighs more than 3 tons. Oh, it's a freaking artillery. How big is the gun? 203. It's not that big. 203 is alright. It's not that big. But, okay. T110. Oh, M110. Artillery-based vehicle. Alright. Alright. Crazy stuff, I guess. T29. There's no T32s. Somewhat similar, right? Somewhat. Nothing too crazy. Even the M46 is practically the M47. Right? So, mislabeling this vehicle as well. Yeah, M47 patent, technically. But it has the battle machine gun, whereas the actual M47 doesn't have it. So it's a hybrid. So it's very close to World of Tanks. It is a clone. But let's take a look at the Germans. With relatively... Oh, they actually expanded. Grill, Hummel, GW Panther, Steering Mill, Ferdinand. Mostly about the same, right? Mostly. Stug 3, Panzer 4 AuF1, Panzer 4H, even that is practically the same. What the hell is this? VK26. It's a light tank? It's a big VK. With the actual Panzer Force turret. Oh! Oh yeah, it's a big chunky VK 26. Wow, it's like the actually that's a VK, was it 16, not 26, but that's a bigger turret for that light tank. Interesting. I saw a crocodile. Spoiler, I saw a crocodile in the trailer, but HWK 10L RU251. Ooh. It's a Leopard 1-esque of a turret on a bagel panzer of a hull thing too. Ooh, it's a 105? It's a 105. Yeah, this thing, I mean, okay. It is a bagel panzer of a vehicle, but has a Leopard 1 turret. Alright, not as interesting as a crocodile. Crocodiles are not real, but Jagdpz E100. They call it Jagdpz. 4 mounted with the superstructure, but that's a crocodile. Oh god, if we ever have this vehicle, that would be nice. It's still the 150. 150? I thought it was a 170. What? The Jagdpz E100 gun is not 150mm. Oh no. Let's see the actual armor. Yeah, the cupola is 336 for the upper plate. 302. Cupola is pretty thick. 250 for the cupola, rounded. There is a lip, and there are periscopes on top, but lower plate 230. Yeah, space armor, all the stuff. This also looks like the old model viewer for what is it? Tank Inspector, but we're not getting the Jagdpz E100 crocodile. Not even close. This is a fake vehicle, but Yeah, I mean, if you put the 170 in the front, then the vehicle might tip over, like forward heavy, right? I want it. I definitely want one, but... Alright, do they have anything else? Panzer IV Waffenträger steering mill, not the Grill 15, of course. Moist Him mouse. The E100 is a mixture of a mouse turret on the E100 chassis, so it's more like War Thunder, but yeah, that's a mouse turret on the E100 chassis with a 150? 150. So it's more like War Thunder, not the weird E100 turret on World of Tanks thing, but yeah, if you play War Thunder, then this vehicle is very familiar. Any other interesting vehicles out there? Sturdy Mill, SP70. Nah, GW E100. What the hell is this thing? It's a 155. 22 seconds to load. It's a rapid firing. Oof. Yeah, it's artillery. Why would you have artillery in Blitz or Blitz copy? That doesn't make sense. It has no armor, right? Yeah, 50 armor. Artillery, of course it's a thing. Alright, moving on to the Russians, but let's see. Mostly are the same. Mostly. Su-152s, IS-2s, KV-3s, PT-76 made its way. Huh. As a light tank, of course, but we have it as a Tier A premium. The LTS-85. But I don't think there's actually water capability or amphibious capability in this game. Otherwise, kinda nuts. But PT-76 is here. As with Object 906. Ooh. It's practically a bigger gun with an elongated hull. Also should be amphibious. Should be. But... oof. Big ass bulge for the driver. It's 85 to a 100 millimeter. Yeah, DPM, they have a health bar system, so it's very close to World of Tanks. Object 685. What the hell is this thing? It's also 100? 100. But... ugh. I mean, it's boxy. Ew. Would I rather play with the... well, then again, it's scouting. Scouting is not as oppressive as in actual World of Tanks. You're just more like a faster light or faster medium tank in combat without that much health to go around. But yeah, scouting is not really a thing, in my opinion, on Blitz, as with the actual World of Tanks. But alright. Object 934. What the hell is this thing with a bunch of... is it dozer blade? It has dozer blades. And more of a Sheridan-esque of a hull design. Huh. Also a 100mm. Boxy ass in the back. Ooh. Also 100mm, but armor is non-existent. 30. And if you actually play these vehicles, light medium tanks, not really light tanks, so scouting is questionable, but interesting. T62M is here. What the hell? Modernized. Does it have the 125? It's still 100, right? 115. Oof. Does it have space armor? It should. Yeah, I mean, it has a bunch of space armor on the hull. effective armor is only... Really? It's only 100mm on the upper plate, but space armor give it about 230. Doesn't seem that crazy now when I look at it. I mean, turret front is obviously strong enough, but that's a big ass periscope. Huh. Alright, T62M. Is there a T64M? With a bigger gun? Let's see. IS-7, 257, IS-3 looks kind of weird. That's that's not an IS-3. Actually, that is an IS-3, just without the machine guns. Looks kind of funky, right? Looks kind of naked, but D25, yep, D25. Upgrade to D30. Looks kind of naked without the 𝗕𝗫𝗁. Ah. Anything else crazy? IS-6 is actually a tech tree vehicle at a higher tier. 704, 268, yeah. Ooh, a different branch of armorless tank destroyer. 108. That looks like the SU-130 PM. With a 152 derp gun. 100mm. Or 130. That's a SU-130M PM, right? They're very close. Object 108. It's actually a tech tree vehicle. Moving on to the 116. Oh, that's even bigger. I mean, technically it's more like a copy. 130, 152. It's a bigger 152. Okay. Would you get another SU-130 PM at tier 9 as a premium tank? That's a question. Object 120. Oh yeah, of course, this thing. I remember now. It's called a Tarzan or something. It begins with a T. But yeah, it's a big gun without armor. Yeah, 30 at the hull front. Yeah, 30 at best. If 40 space armor, but yeah, it has no armor. I think it's called Tarzan or something. Begins with a T. Or Taran. But it was hinted into to be included into World of Tanks for a long time, but never made it. I mean, we could see it as a assembly shop, but that's not out of the realm of possibilities. There's so many freaking Russian tanks too. Alright, it's a tech tree Waffen trigger for the Russians. Artillery is practically the same until tier 7 or tier 9 ish. Ugh. Reminds me of Armor Warfare's artillery now. It's a 152. It's not a 203 or even bigger calibers. The 261 had a 170 or so, but what's that thing called? The 𝗗𝗁𝗧? It begins with a G. I forgot the name, but it's a Armor Warfare artillery. Alright, 𝗗𝗁𝗧. I forgot the name. It's been a long ass time since I've been onto Armor Warfare. T10 SPG. What the hell? That's a IS-8 chassis with a big ass gun. Looks like a 210, 203. Yeah, it's a bigger gun, but on a heavy tank chassis. That's actually pretty interesting. Armorless, right? Has no armor. 100, surprisingly, on the upper plate. Could troll a few, but not much. Alright, I mean, they're not going to include new artillery. I mean, artillery hasn't been changed in like 8 years, 9 years since the British ones came out, and that was it. no more new artillery for a long ass time. They're not going to put new artillery into the game. Unless it's like combat artillery, but that's also out of the like 99% chance not going to make it. Alright, we're done with the Russians. Practically almost the same other than the Waffenträger line. T10M. Huh. They don't have a 277. 152? On a T10? Or IS-8? Or IS-10? Oh, it's practically the 268 version number 5. Without the bigger turret, practically. But yeah, it's practically a 268 version number 5. Okay. Fine. Alright, moving on to the smaller branches. We finished covering the big ones. The Chinese T34C, practically the same thing. Higher T3444. What the hell is this thing? Is it like a modified Type 58? Does it have a bit different turret? Nah. It could mount a 100mm. So, like with the T32-2 in a sense, but ick. Okay. Not the craziest out of the bunch. Let's take a look. Type 62 is a premium originally. 69, 79, and a bunch of cars too. Ooh, Chinese cars. It's gonna crash into everything. 105mm. I mean, it could be like with the British cars, right? We could see a Chinese car line. We could, but I don't know if people are excited for more cars. The British cars are not that impactful. Did not make that big of a splash with the popularity, but whatever. BK 1990. It's a bigger car with more road wheels or with more. It's an autoloader. 3-round magazine of a 100mm. Alright. Cars are whatever. I mean, give us better maps, then the cars will be free to roam, but yeah. It's a bigger gun now. It's a bigger turret with a bigger gun. 3-round of a 120mm. Yeah, what can the concept number 5 gets an autoloader, right? Unfair. It's more like a Leopard 1, but not as good in a sense. So, might as well play with the Leopard 1 than the concept number 5, but gimmicky cars. Type 62G. WZ-132 technically. Type 69 is here. You should have a bigger gun, if I remember. No. 105. That is practically the L7. Modified the turret. $100mm. Yeah, it's like with the WZ-121B in a sense. Makes sense. Type 79. Ooh, even more modern. Should be also 105. 125? Ooh. It's a smoothbore, right? Isn't the 125 a smoothbore? No space armor package, unfortunately, but bigger gun, practically. Also remember the 125 could fire missiles, I think. But, why is the WZ-112 here? It's not a 112. It looks like a 112, but not. Well, it has the same name, but not really. 111 is technically true. 110 is the 110 looks more like an IS-2 than the pike hull front. Huh. Weird. Only one turret with a 100mm. Yeah, it's not really the 110 without the pike shape hull. It's more like a IS-2 modified. Oh. WZ-111 looks about the same. Yeah, it looks with the IS-3's turret. Yeah, bigger turret with the 122s. Cannon mount at 130, like with the 5A. Still 122. 100mm. 122. Yeah, there's no 5A. 130. And for WZ-112, which is technically not the 112, technically, I don't know. But 130? 130. So it's like a 5A. In a sense. They call it the 112. Turret looks more like the 122 TM. WZ-122 TM with a larger cupola on top. Alright. Not too crazy, right? There's no crocodiles to be found here, but oh, a bunch of weird tank destroyers. A bunch of copies of the ISUs until we get to this thing. Ugh. Well, it's more like a light tank, but they categorize it as a tank destroyer. 105 makes sense. Looks almost German. No armor whatsoever. Huh, Type 89 AFV. Armored fighting vehicle. Can you also mount like troops in the back? Interesting. It's not IFV. PTZ-89 with a larger turret. Autoloader. 120 autoloader to 120 autoloader. Smooth bore. Big ass turret without armor practically. No armor. 20. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting Waffen-Trigger designs, right? For a tank destroyer branch. The actual PTZ-89 prototype. Also autoloader 120. Ah, okay. It's nice to see all these new vehicles, technically. But I mean, there's so many vehicles to go through. I want more maps. For World of Tanks. I just want more maps. What the hell is artilleries for Chinese? What? They're not gonna add more artilleries. They're not. They're not gonna add more artilleries into the game. Chinese artilleries now. That's a little dinky cart of a thing. Okay. What is that, like a 105? 122? Whatever. It's a little box tank. Type 70 SPH. Self-propelled howitzer. But also 122. It's more of a box as well. There's a little canvas, like a little cart thing. But yeah. Yeah. No armor, right? Best armor is 20. YW323. Another freaking artillery. Even have their canvas up now. Oh. More artillery. This thing is also one. Looks like 152 now. 122 still? 122 still. High explosive round. Rapid firing, high explosive. How the hell do you play artillery with Blitz? No idea. Type 83 SPH. It's like with the tank destroyers. It's really like the tank destroyers. Just firing artillery rounds now. Yeah, it's like the tank destroyers we just saw. It's like these, just with artillery guns. What the hell? Type 88 SPH. Okay. God, that's big. Is it like a 203? 155. It's an autoloader 155, but practically replacing the French. There's only 2 rounds of the autoloader. Long load time is it's a auto reloader. Okay, they actually have fancier mechanics than just a simply autoloader thing. It's an auto reloader. Alright, Chinese artillery is the thing. French. AMX-10 RC is the most interesting one. ARL-44, FCM is lower tiered. AMX M4 has a autoloader turret. Interesting. 𝗕𝗔𝗡𝗞𝗏. Oh, 65T sucks. AMX-50 TCB. Yeah, EBR or ERC. There's no EBRs. Oh, MX-13s makes sense. Batchat 25Ts, 105s, Lorraine 40T, AMX-30, AMX-32. Oh, let's take a look at the ERC. Ah, of course. Yep. No EBRs, but ERCs. Cars are fun. Not really, unless you have an open field map. It's more corridors now. VBC 90. Huh. 10 RC we saw in the trailer. I doubt they'll give us more cars for now. It's the Czech autoloaders or the autocannons. Yeah, I doubt they will give us more cars in the recent future or the near future. For now. Man. Batchat. AMX-32. Ooh. That's a big ass turret. Never noticed how big it is, but cupola is also massive. It's a 120mm. How thick is the space armor package? Space armor on the lower plate. It's only 80mm for the lower plate, but space armor is 50. Technically, it's only 170mm effective. Still good against high explosive in the tank, but upper plate is well sloped. Why is that angle different? Why is it like 500mm effective? The frick? Huh. Could be trollish, like with the UDES 1516, but some armor plates are spaced. What? It has 150mm space armor somewhere. Is it because of this? Oh, they actually bolted on plates of 150 right here. Oh, that's a troll. Space armor for the hull sides. Cupola is 60, 78 effective. It's a space armor, large ass AMX-30 practically. All right. Oh god. I mean, interesting how they copy World of Tanks, but still have few of their own vehicles, right? Still interesting enough. That's a AMX-50B's hull with the enforced turret. It's a weird hybrid. Yeah. Yeah, that's an AMX-50's hull with the pike. AMX-5120's hull, more or less. But with the large turret from AMX M4, 54 or 51, but 120. It cannot carry a 130 like with the actual M4 at tier 10. Huh. French heavy tanks are nerfed. Mostly. Foch. AMX-CA 1951. Artillery is practically... yeah, okay. Let me see this one. It's like a Foch B practically. It's a Foch. Yeah, it's like a Foch. Except it's more like tier 8 with the little machine gun in the back than without it. So, yeah. The mini turret machine gun in the back. But not a Batchat artillery. Does it have an autoloader? It looks like it does. Yeah, it's an autoloader. 155. Their version of a Batchat artillery, but it's AMX-30's hull with a large ass fighting compartment on top. Okay. Well, it's interesting how they still have more artillery. Well, technically, they don't have British artillery, do they? Let's see. Segue into the Brits. That should be the Brits. Archer, Achilles, Churchills, FE 201. Ugh. Comet, Centurion. Chieftain. Centurion going to Chieftain makes somewhat of a sense, but okay. No Action X Centurion, of course. Charioteer, Avenger, Conway into the Ship Barn, and Super Conqueror, because why not? So all of them are practically the same, other than the Chieftain replacing the Action X Centurion. But yeah, it makes sense if we have it. Unfortunate. And finally, Sweden. This video is going on way too long. Only S tanks, IKV 90, but different version of the IKV 90. Yeah, it's a different version of the IKV 90. There were like 6 or 8 different versions, if I remember correctly, but it's also more like I'm trying to remember the name. A lot of streets for it, but not really with a groove. So lots of S tanks, special S tank designs. And actual S1 into the. There's no UDS 03s, actual S tank. But I also took a look on the websites for tank company, and they also have different vehicles. I don't know how you pull them up, but there's a full list of something like a CCL X1 okay, but let's see. Americans, I don't know which freaking tier it is. There's a Cornerstone T23. What the hell is this thing? Can I see the actual picture? They don't have a model viewer. The game is not crazy like supported with fan websites, so there's not that much to go around. But I also lost the vehicle for a split second. Oh, goddamn. There it is. Open image in new tab. What the hell is it? What the hell is that thing? It's like a medium tank? The picture is so small. What the hell is this thing? Firepower. It's 90mm light tank. Load time is 8 seconds, 8 degrees gun depression. Okay. It might be a premium or something, but alright. Anything else? T43 early. Oh. Super Sherman. Interesting. Israeli modified. It's like a revalorisé, but T42, T51, Chrysler Super Persh. T29. There's no T32s. T30. Yeah, some vehicles are missing. Like a Starship. What? That's a Starship. Does it have the shillelagh? Which I doubt it. I doubt it. It's not gonna carry a shillelagh. It's tier. Technically, they're tier 10, but or they're tier 7. Our tier 10. Pan Starship. It doesn't have the shillelagh. It's not a missile. It's a high explosive anti-tank round, like with the Sheridan, right? Yeah. Could fire a missile though. And the rest seems about the same. Alright. Germans. Quick breeze. Through the list. Bagel Panzer? They have a Bagel Panzer? That's neat. We don't have a Bagel Panzer. I want a Bagel Panzer. It's a medium tank at tier 6. Is it tier 6? Panzer 58 Prototype. It's a Panzer. Okay, I was looking at the Bagel Panzer, but why? Sure. Bagel Panzer. It's a medium. Oh god, the website support is not that great. Wait, Bagel Panzer is the light tank. What the hell am I thinking? There it is. Bagel Panzer. Autoloader, right? 6 rounds, autoloader. More money, earns more X credits, whatever. Interesting. Also, the 𝗵𝗄𝗄𝗃 could fire a missile, if I remember correctly, but they don't have the missile thing capability. Alright. I want a 𝗵𝗄𝗃. M47, but German version. Austrian version, but... Oh. Yeah, the video is dragging on too long. I just want to look at more vehicles, but... it turned into a, what the hell is this thing? Oh my god, it's like a friggin' VK100's turret on a Luvas hull, practically. Oh, with a 150? Oh god. Yeah, Mammoot's turret on a Luvas hull. It's a thing, 7002. Alright, bunch of Panzer 58s. Indian Panzer, Yak Tiger. KV-1 Pioneer. ASU 57. I think we already covered it. I forget. KV-2s. KV-4 Burganov. Oh, it's a rear-mounted KV-4. Ah, God, so disgusting. All right, seems about the same. I'm going to quickly breeze through because there's a bunch, but that looks like a LTTB with a T-34 turret. Yeah, it looks like a LTTB with a T-34 turret. Oh. They even call it the LTTB icon. But, Alright. I'm already getting lost. They call it the HAST, but alright. IS-5. There's a bunch of freaking... There's a K91 SPG, which is a tank destroyer, which is the K91 PT, but also a boat version of a K91. Huh. It's not a bad clone, right? For tanks, in a sense. The controls are utterly horrendous, but for amount of tanks, not bad. There's so many new vehicles to look at. I think we're done with the Russians, but no type or T64? Huh. Do I see a T64 from the actual list? WZ, PTC, it's Russian medium tank. Nope, no T64, unfortunately, or T72. That is way too modern. All right, quickly finishing. I have to wrap this up. There's a freaking skin version of vehicles too. Oh no. The 112, their 112 is not the same as our 112. Ooh, WZ 1224. That's pretty modern. That's like 1970s or something. That is pretty modern. Huh. Interesting. And a bunch of freaking artilleries. They even got the 𝗖𝗚ce EVN-90. Yeah, a bunch of freaking vehicles you already know. Whew. Canon d'Assault Lorraine. Without the cupola on top. It's like a Lorraine chassis, like a Lorraine 40T without the cupola. Merged with a Foch? Interesting. Because air core tires. Sweden. Oh, vehicle type. Why don't you have the Swedish vehicle? What the hell? I didn't check any of the filters. Why do you only have 2? They didn't even update this list with the full S tanks. It's your main website. What the hell? FE4202 is there. Chimera is there. Looks slightly different than our Chimera. Slightly. Mostly the sloping on the upper plate. But Conqueror, Centurion Mark 10. There's no FE215B1A3s. Oh, there we go, folks. We spent long enough time looking enough. Centurion Mark 10. Let's finish up with the Centurion Mark 10. It's one of my favorite vehicles with the Centurions, but there is a FE215. Their website is not even updated fully. Come on. Medium tank. It's a tier, technically they're tier, or are tier 9, but why is the alpha damage so low? Oh, there we go, folks. Finally finishing the whole tech tree. It is a very advanced copy of a clone. I'll give it that much. But the controls are ass. Terrible. Horrendous. But hey, at least we saw a lot of the vehicles, right? It is only available on your phones. You cannot emulate this thing, or you cannot play it on PC. You only have to emulate it. But oh god. Some vehicles are interesting, right? Like the cars of the Chinese origin or the French, but I doubt we're going to see any more cars anytime soon. Even the Waffentrager-esque of tank destroyers, right? These armorless tank destroyers are also pretty interesting. The Russians have it, the Chinese have it, so yeah, interesting. But we're slowly moving along. It's not that fast. I want to see a Krokodil too, but yeah, this thing is awesome. I didn't expect it to be only a 150. I wanted it to be a 170, but it's a very nice clone. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for a whole freaking hour almost, but I'm going to delete this thing. Hopefully there's no malware or spyware in this piece of crap, but goddamn, the controls really suck. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You can try it with an emulator, but I don't recommend it. The controls are utterly horrendous. Terrible, but there you go, folks. Some of the crazier, weird tanks in Tank Company, which is a very close clone of World of Tanks or Blitz or together, but it's been fun. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.